When the ATM won't work, your phone is dead, and the store shelves are empty, what will actually keep you alive? Hint, it's not gold, cash, or Bitcoin. Most people are preparing for the wrong things, hoarding wealth that becomes worthless overnight. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 7 ordinary items sitting in stores right now that could become more valuable than gold in a collapse scenario. These aren't your typical prepper supplies. These are overlooked, underestimated tools that solve real survival problems when everything else fails. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to stock up on and why before everyone else figures it out. Welcome to Crisis Horizon, where we cut through the noise and focus on real-world preparedness that works. If you're serious about survival, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because when crisis hits, you want this information in your corner. And if you find value in what we're sharing today, leave a like to help this reach others who need to see it. Let's talk about what really matters when society systems falter and the grid goes down. Most people imagine collapse as a sudden, chaotic event. Alarms blaring, riots erupting, everything falling apart in a single night. But the truth is different. Collapse is a slow unraveling. Comfort fades gradually. Needs intensify. And the items we never cared about suddenly become priceless. The smartest survivors aren't hoarding treasure. They're securing goods that transform into survival currency when the grid dies for good. In a world where systems fail, gold won't buy you food. Cash won't keep you warm. The new economy is built on utility, adaptability, and the ability to solve immediate problems. What we're about to cover are 7 products that most people dismiss as ordinary, but in collapse, they become essential assets, each with the power to save lives, secure trade, and provide leverage in desperate times. First up, steel wool. Yes, the stuff you use to scrub pots. But after a collapse, fire is worth more than gold. And steel wool, especially fine grade, is a silent, reliable ignition source. It ignites instantly with a spark. Pair it with a 9-volt battery, and you have a portable fire starter that works in wet conditions, low temperatures, and total darkness. No lighter fluid, no gas, no fancy gear, just raw ignition when you need it most. Think about that for a moment. When it's freezing, when your hands are numb, when everything is soaked from rain, steel wool still works. You touch it to the terminals of a battery and it bursts into flame. That's not just convenient, that's life or death. Fire means warmth, cooked food, purified water, and psychological comfort. Without fire, exposure kills fast. But steel wool isn't just for starting fires. It scrubs rust off tools, restores corroded surfaces, and sharpens edges in the field. It's lightweight and compact. Most people leave it on the shelf, never thinking twice about it. In a barter economy, a Ziploc bag of steel wool could be traded for food, shelter, or protection once word spreads that you can make flame on demand. Smart preppers vacuum seal rolls of fine-grade steel wool. They test every batch to make sure it ignites properly. They carry it in their go bags, vehicle kits, and even jacket pockets. In a real collapse, you won't get a second chance to start a fire. Those who can't make fire quickly become burdens to their group. Steel wool is the difference between survival and exposure. It's the difference between being useful and being dead weight. Now let's talk about something most people would never think of as survival gear. Tampons. Yes, tampons. They're often dismissed as single-purpose items, but in a grid-down scenario, they become invaluable. A tampon is a sterile, compact plug of cotton, far more useful than most people realize. In the absence of clean wound dressings or trauma kits, a tampon can act as a fast-absorbing wound pack. For deep cuts, stabs, or punctures, it can slow or stop bleeding until proper treatment is available. This alone makes it worth more than gold when things go bad. You're not always going to have gauze, medical supplies, or a hospital nearby. But a tampon? It's designed to absorb blood. It's sterile, it's sealed, it works. Beyond medical applications, tampons double as excellent fire starters. The cotton ignites quickly and burns hot, which is perfect for damp conditions when you need to get a fire going fast. They can also pre-filter dirty water, removing visible debris before purification. This extends the life of your main water filter, which is critical when replacement filters are impossible to find. Tampons can serve as nasal plugs for nosebleeds or smoke exposure, and of course, they retain their original purpose, which gives them huge barter value in group survival communities. Emotional needs don't vanish during collapse. Hygiene supplies become leverage. People will trade for comfort and normalcy, especially women in survival communities. Smart preppers carry tampons in every major kit. They're sealed, sterile, lightweight, and space efficient. Some have even used them in real-world drills, packing wounds until proper care was available. In a crisis, the person with real solutions runs the show. And when you pull out a sterile tampon to stop someone's bleeding, you become that person. Next on the list, mouse traps. They're cheap, lightweight, quiet, and completely underestimated. Their obvious use is catching rodents, which is critical for protecting food stores and maintaining hygiene. One rat infestation can destroy your supplies and spread sickness through your group. Disease moves fast in collapse conditions, and rodents are carriers. But a standard mousetrap is more than pest control. It's a resettable mechanical device. With cord or wire, it can be adapted as a perimeter alarm. Set a trip line, and a loud snap alerts you to intruders.
You don't need electricity, you don't need batteries, just simple physics and a bit of creativity. In a world where security systems are dead, a mousetrap becomes your early warning system. Mousetraps can also be rigged as small game snares for birds or squirrels, providing passive food collection. You set them up, check them periodically, and if you're lucky, you've got protein without spending energy hunting. That's efficiency. That's smart survival. Most people overlook mousetraps, which makes them powerful barter tools. In a camp overrun by rats, a few new traps can be traded for tools, food, or medicine. They're quiet, effective, and no one sees them coming. While others are panicking about rodents destroying their supplies, you're the one offering solutions. And solutions equal leverage. Experienced preppers vacuum seal packs of 5 mousetraps with string and bait. They carry 2 packs in their go bags. In unlimited terrain, a few traps on the perimeter are better than nothing. If you're not catching, alerting, or bartering, you're just waiting, and collapse doesn't wait for anyone. Now, let's shift to something completely unexpected, a battery-operated aquarium air pump. Stay with me on this one because it's brilliant. When the grid collapses, water becomes fragile, not just in access, but in storage. Stagnant water breeds bacteria and algae. It becomes a health risk. Drinking it can cause infection, illness, or worse. Battery-operated aquarium air pumps are designed to keep fish alive during blackouts, but for preppers, they serve a different purpose: oxygenating stored water. By adding oxygen, you discourage bacteria and prevent algae growth. These pumps don't purify water, but they delay spoilage and extend usability. That's critical when clean water sources vanish and you're relying on what you stored. Beyond water storage, these pumps can circulate water in hydroponic setups, keeping plants alive off-grid. They can also provide airflow in sealed containers or assist in low-pressure ventilation projects. Because they run on batteries, they're independent of solar panels or fuel. You just pop in some batteries, drop the tube in your water barrel, and let it run. A $15 air pump can be traded to someone with food but spoiled water. You're not just offering a favor, you're offering real power. The ability to extend water life means survival for days or weeks longer. That's massive leverage in a barter economy. Smart preppers store multiple pumps with backup batteries. They keep tubing pre-attached for instant deployment. When someone's water supply is turning green and slimy, you show up with a working air pump, and suddenly, you're the most valuable person in camp. Let's talk about movement and stealth. Most people reach for oil, WD-40, or grease for maintenance. But in survival scenarios, oil collects dust, turns sticky, and breaks down gear. Graphite lubricant is dry, odorless, temperature-resistant, dust-repellent, and whisper-silent. Graphite is perfect for locks, zippers, hinges, and firearms. It allows silent access to shelters, gearboxes, and storage units, critical in high-risk zones where noise draws attention. When you need to open a door without alerting anyone nearby, graphite makes it happen. Oil would squeak. Graphite glides. That difference could save your life. In dirty environments, graphite keeps working cleanly while oil jams up with grit. Sand, dust, mud, they all stick to oil and turn your gear into a grinding, sticky mess. Graphite doesn't care. It keeps things moving smoothly no matter how filthy conditions get. In a trade economy, graphite commands respect. It offers maintenance, silence, stealth, and precision. It's control when others are fumbling with stuck bolts in jammed latches. A small squeeze tube weighs nothing, lasts forever, and can be traded for rations or favors. People underestimate how important smooth, silent operation becomes when every sound could mean danger. Prepping for movement means more than just having an escape plan. It means moving without announcing yourself. When collapse rewards the quiet, may be the most valuable thing you own. The person who can operate silently has options. The person making noise becomes a target. Now let's address a threat most people completely overlook: insects. In collapse, the danger of insects is massively underestimated. Sleeping outside exposes you to swarms of biting bugs, especially in humid climates. One night of bites can ruin your sleep, break down your immune system, and transmit diseases like dengue, malaria, or West Nile virus. A mosquito net is lightweight, foldable, and passive. No power required, no chemicals needed. It provides instant protection, allowing restful sleep. In a crisis, sleep is mission critical. Without it, you can't think clearly, you can't make good decisions, you can't survive long term. Your body needs rest to heal, to function, to stay sharp. A mosquito net guarantees that rest. Beyond physical protection, a net boosts morale. It offers privacy and a sense of control in an otherwise chaotic situation. In a camp full of stressed, exhausted people, a mosquito net becomes a morale multiplier. It's a small space that's yours, where you can breathe without being constantly harassed by bugs. That psychological comfort matters more than people realize. In trade, a new mosquito net can be exchanged for high-value items, flashlights, food, medicine. Veteran preppers keep 2 nets, one personal, one for trade. They've seen people trade tactical gear just for a single night of bug-free sleep. When infection is one bite away, the person with the net wakes up ready to lead while everyone else is scratching, exhausted, and miserable. Finally, let's talk about something so simple it's almost embarrassing: shoe insoles.
But here's the reality. When vehicles and infrastructure fail, your feet become your primary mode of transportation. Most preppers overlook what happens when boots wear out, knees ache, or you're covering miles on rough terrain day after day. High-quality insoles with arch support and shock absorption extend the life of your boots and your legs. They prevent blisters, arch pain, shin splints, and back strain, issues that slow you down and make you vulnerable. If you can't walk, you can't escape danger. You can't forage, you can't trade. You become stuck, and stuck means dead. Comfort becomes mental fuel when your body is breaking down. Imagine you're 3 weeks into collapse. You've been walking constantly. Your feet hurt, your legs ache, everything is falling apart. Then you slide cushioned insoles into your boots, and suddenly it's like giving your feet a second wind. That's not just physical relief, it's psychological fuel to keep going. In a camp where people are limping, barely able to move, new insoles become medical-grade mobility support. They get traded for food, tools, or meds. Mobility is everything in collapse. Every step counts. Smart survivors store multiple pairs, one in their bug-out boots, one spare in the go bag, and one in reserve. If you lose mobility, you lose the advantage, period. So here's what we've covered: steel wool for fire, tampons for medical emergencies, mouse traps for security and food, aquarium air pumps for water storage, graphite lubricant for silent movement, mosquito nets for protection and trade, and shoe insoles for mobility. These are the quiet, underestimated items that decide who survives and who fades out early. When gold loses its shine and cash becomes scrap, it's this gear, sealed tampons, steel wool, shoe insoles, that matters. Survival rewards action, not curiosity. The winners aren't those with flashy bunkers or viral bug-out tours. They're the ones who notice the details, stack the right gear, and think months ahead. If you're watching this, you're not just curious, you're serious. You're thinking like a strategist, preparing for the moment when chaos hits and you calmly pull out exactly what others forgot. Preparation is a mindset, not a hobby. Every item, every skill, every plan brings you one edge closer to being the person who's ready when no one else is. So ask yourself right now, do you have steel wool in your kit? Have you tested it in rain or darkness? Are you stocked up on tampons, and do you know how to use them for wounds? Do you have mouse traps for pest control, alarms, or snares? Are you protecting your water with battery-operated air pumps? Is graphite lubricant part of your silent movement strategy? Do you have mosquito nets for protection and trade? Are your feet prepped with high-quality insoles for long-term mobility? Survival isn't about watching videos, it's about doing. The ones who thrive and collapse are those who act now, stacking the right gear and building the right mindset. When the grid goes down and comfort dies, it's the overlooked items that become the new gold. Prepare today, and you'll be 2 steps ahead when everyone else is scrambling. In a world where systems fail and needs replace comfort, survival is decided by the details. The 7 products we've outlined are more than gear. They're lifelines, trade goods, and sources of leverage. By thinking ahead, stacking the right supplies, and cultivating a strategic mindset, you position yourself not just to endure collapse, but to lead, trade, and thrive. Preparation isn't entertainment. It's the difference between fading out early and making it through. The quiet, underestimated items in your kit may one day be worth more than gold. The question is, are you ready to act, or will you be the one trading watches for wet wipes when it's too late to think? The choice is yours. If this opened your eyes to real preparedness, subscribe to Crisis Horizon for more strategies that work when everything else fails. Drop a comment telling us which item you're adding to your kit first. And remember, when comfort dies, the overlooked become gold. Be ready.